everybody doing today? It is time for your favorite show, the FGC PogCast. How y'all feeling tonight? We have a special guest.
Everyone's favorite.
Yep, it's me, your boy Juste Meta. It's your other boy, Ponteronten, the Oreo Bros, as we call ourselves as of this very moment. And with us today, we have, a very helpful guy, super kind, super cool. His name is C4. You guys know him as C4. He goes by IamC4IQ everywhere online. Give it up for Mr. C4. How you doing today?
Not bad. What's going on, guys? Just a fine game heads, wandering around in quick streams, trying to commentate as much as I can. Yeah.
Cool.
Now I'm here. Thanks for getting me on here.
No problem. You've been in my stream lately, giving me a lot of good tips, a lot of text specifically for Leo, but in general, we've been doing a lot of React stuff, analyzing, analysis stuff, and you've definitely been helpful with, helping the community understand how to play the game better and not just, get mad and say soul broke, every 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's to me it's super counterintuitive. It's not productive. It doesn't help anyone. The main reason I tune into people like you and Ringe is because you dissect the game, analyze the game. It's still fairly new, and there's obviously a lot of people that have a preconception of how things work because of older Guilty Gear games or fighting games in general. And I think a good way to go about it is take the game for what it is. And just do some science, man. Do some lab works.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. When I find a fighting game that I like, as with anything that I like to dig deep into it. I do this with TV shows as well. So if you guys think I go deep with the lab work and the analysis of just in fighting games, I do that with literally everything. Anything that I like, I just dive into it and tear it apart and try to see how it works. Used to be a musician years ago, and that's how I made my living for a while. And I got real deep into it. I didn't get as deep as I should have, though. I always told myself I should have went to studio engineering school so I could learn how they do the sound design and stuff. But never got around to doing that. Because I lived in the USA. We got to make a living. I don't got time to go to school, so
You need to focus on the current stuff that is happening right now in front of us. Even though it might come later down the line to know about it. But
well, now that you say that, it's great because all the YouTubers, because YouTube is so big, they're literally telling everybody how to do stuff on YouTube now. So you don't even have to go to school for it anymore. Now it's all on YouTube. They're literally telling you everything that you used to have to pay a lot of money to know.
Yeah.
So that's great. So same thing. I decided, we decided we were just gonna do that. And and you're one of those people as well, C4. You're one of those people who go around and literally tell people, hey, don't think that that's broken. You have this option or that option, or this happened because of this, or this happened because of that. So actively educating the community is really good. I think that's a service that we render to the FGC.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I can be pretty, what's the word? Abrasive, I'll say.
That's the London in you.
Yeah, it kind of is. I'm very blunt and to the point. I'm not here. I don't play fighting games to make friends. I like making friends. That's all good. But I'm not trying to make everyone like me. I really don't care about that. All I care about is people using critical thinking. And when you go, oh, that's broken, and you don't look at the situation, it just puts me to sleep. And I'm like, just think about what you're saying, please. Just put a little bit of thought process.
Yep.
It's not about getting the right answers. It's about the thought process and the reason to get to that answer. That's all I really care about. So yeah, if that helps people, brilliant. I just want people to not be the best at the game, but to be good at it. And to be good at something, you need to understand it. And if you just throw your hands up and go, this isn't fair, this is broken, you're never going to look for a solution. And then the game's not going to be enjoyable for you or the person kicking your ass. So
exactly.
Goes back to the whole thing that you should focus your energy less on complaining and whining and actually focusing on adapting and get good.
Or as we said on our stream today, Daru, the master reflector, he reflected on himself. And then he was able to beat the beast. You know, one time
Wow.
he couldn't reflect hard enough the second time. He put Hissy in the losers, and Hissy just ran it up, just washed everybody in losers. It was crazy. And that's another example that I wanted to give is that a character like Soda, we all agree is like too strong, but Hissy, the way Hissy plays Soul, I was literally complimenting everything. I was like, "Oh my god, that was genius. Oh my god, that was great." Like he was just a good fucking player, bro. Like you could just tell that he could hop on any character and perform exactly the same. You know? Like it wasn't Soul at that point, you know? And you could tell it was just him, you know?
I think it's really bad when it happens a lot. I think maybe in Guilty Gear more than other games where you have a character that's strong and you can't see past the quote unquote busted stuff to the player utilizing the busted stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Johnny players in Xrd that are really good Johnny players, but you never see that, you never think that because it's like, well, it's Johnny, like he just does that. It's like, to a degree.
That was a perfect example of the player, you know, making the character look even better.
Absolutely.
You know? So like it was crazy because there was a trade situation in the tournament where Eno 6P'd Fafnir, but they both got counter hits. And basically, and you were there, you saw this, but I'm going to tell this for the people who weren't here. They were both counter hits, but Eno bounced because Fafnir, you know, a hit makes you bounce. And the 6P, I thought the 6P counter hit would knock down, but it didn't. And he basically capitalized on that. It seems like he's labbed that situation because he had the whole combo ready to go, you know, on that trade combo. And he just killed off of it. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy. And we went to the lab right after that to try it. And we were like, oh, that's not broke. That's a real situation. You know? Like, at first we were all like, oh my God, Soul broke. You know? We were at first, like, and that's the thing. At first glance, it looks like, oh my God, this character's fucking insane. But then when you dig deep in the situation, that's a situation that any character can get, you know? Depending on, like, what moves straight. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's not that broke. That's actually normal, you know.
Exactly.
And he deserves to be rewarded for that. You know, it's crazy, but hey, that's Dice Game's vision. That's Dice Game's vision for you.
Gotta make sure that it's clear so that rest of us can see it, so we don't like complain over something that it was supposed to be there at the end of it all.
Exactly. So we got some news. I guess we can start with Guilty Gear Strive news. First Guilty Gear Strive DLC character to be... Oh, okay, so this is Gold Lewis. So
this is all news.
So I guess we could just talk about Mr. Gold Lewis.
Absolutely.
And the fact that Guilty Gear is, like, selling like crazy now. It's still small for, like, a... You know, on the scale of games, but this game could easily reach a couple million copies by the end of the first year. Easily.
True that. So, especially when everyone is streaming it as well, like crazy. People get interested in like hold some... It's crazy. At the end of the whole day.
And tournament season's coming up too, so you know that's about to be a thing. So let's say C4, what do you think about Mr. Gold Lewis, or as the community calls him, Gold Dick?
Gold. I'm definitely just gonna call him Lewis. No gold dicks here, but I think the character's amazing for the game. Aesthetically, it's not for me. I'm a Leo main, and that's pretty much it. But I think aesthetically, he's definitely.
For you.
I think the burger thing's cool. The burger thing is definitely cool. I'm down for infinite burger bags. Like that's really cool. But I feel that there was obviously like a lot of doubt in what Strive could do, and from what we've played, people were like, Dice Game's vision, maybe you need to go Specsavers, get some glasses. But considering that, they've made a character who fights with a coffin and an alien is inside of it.
Yeah,
that screams to me Guilty Gear. Like, that's so original in 2021.
Yeah.
I have to tip my hats off.
Yeah, a completely original character with a completely original moveset, with a completely original game plan. Like, I mean, it's so exciting that I thought nothing would make me want to switch off Kai, but like I'm kind of seriously considering like maybe trying this guy out seriously for a while. You know,
I think Gold Lewis as a character, when they presented him, it was just like, okay, what's going on? And then they show the behemoth, what was it? Typhoon.
Behemoth Typhoon. Yeah. Gold Lewis can.
Yeah. And that's the fun, interesting thing is that there's a whole lot of depth in that particular attack as well. It's just like you do have circles in different directions and different up positions of sorts, and he will do a particular one specifically for that, and that's really cool to see. And the more I look at the character as a whole, it kind of reminds me of like the Guilty Gear Xrd characters, Kum Hayun, for instance, Spike, and a little bit of a Johnny as well. So I get a feeling like this is really an interesting character that mixes these characters together. So, but hey, you got the looks of Aiken. He's got an eye patch. He has a big chest, and he
does have
has
a
a
big
chain.
He gave us
Therefore,
Daisuke
we have
gave us the complete opposite of what everyone voted for. Everyone wanted the waifus. He gave us a big, fat American burger-eating guy with a coffin and an alien and bombs and guns, bro.
Absolutely.
He's like, yeah, they're just you're no more waifus for you, bro.
Too bad you're getting the American treatment today.
Ramifil was enough, I think. He's gonna hold out. He's gonna make people hit that drought until he brings out another female character, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, real talk. So I can tell you right now, Gold Lewis, I think he's like, I agree with you. He's definitely a mix of Biken and Coom. I think he's mostly Coom inspired though. But I also feel like he's a lot like Cliff, where like I don't know if a lot of people notice, but the recovery on those behemoths, like there's almost no recovery on those moves. So he can literally just throw those out in neutral, like, and some of them build meter too on whiff.
Yeah.
So basically, it's he's like Pot a little bit, with like the body splash and like the mix-ups, the throw strike situation. But I feel like he's a lot like Cliff, where he's just like big area denial, big offense denial, because he could be a plus on the coffin swings if you block them. So it's a mix-up whether you get hit or block, because then if you block, you just got to hold another mix-up, So it's crazy, So I don't know, man. It's like this character has so much depth to him. I can already see lab monsters are going to go crazy over this character. There's going to be so much you could do with him. Especially like meaty setups and stuff. Like I literally spent an hour on my stream just like coming up with hypothetical meaty situations,
And also,
we can't want to lab him. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was gonna like we get a minigun, but the game, like the presentation, is just like he pulls out several projectiles in a row. So you can't just say he pulls out a minigun and guns them down.
And he's a counter zoner on top of that. Like that's even what's crazy. Like that shot, that minigun seems like it's good at any security level, And same with the bomb too. Like I was telling folks, like that bomb is good at any security level. Like it doesn't even matter, Like it doesn't even matter, bro. He could just throw that out there just to like deny some space, even in neutral,
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So what do you? So C4, what are your thoughts? Like, how do you think he's gonna play? What is your analysis? Your expert analysis.
I can give you an honest analysis. I can't give you an expert one. I don't know. I think what's cool is like you said, the bomb. I think the bomb's cool. I thought it was gonna work a bit more like Raven, because I want a pocket character that's super consistent with Oki.
Yeah.
So I thought, you knock him down, put a bomb on top, cool. It's like Raven with orbs in Xrd.
Exactly.
It doesn't look like that, which is fine. The gun from full screen looks really cool. Like you said, like a counter zoning tool. He's got a run, so as a player that plays characters with dashes, I'm excited to be able to run forward. That looks real cool. But the biggest part for me is I'm interested for the inputs for the Behemoth Typhoon. So the only other character I've really labbed in this game is Axel, because I just wanted to do Axel bombers. Like TKDP to me is like just cool to do on a hitbox. But what the inputs for the Behemoth, I think, is a good challenge. So I'll play him purely because of the inputs on his Behemoth Typhoon. And and then I'll try and make the other stuff work. They're not as cool as I thought they were going to be, like the bomb in Typhoon. The bomb and the Gatling. But it's only because of what I wanted, not because it's not a cool mechanic in the first place. It's just not what I wanted. I don't think there's anyone, maybe bar Milia, that's got consistent like knockdown Oki. And I know that's something they tried to get rid of because no one liked to get cornered by Milia, so they put the wall break mechanic in. I understand that. But it would be cool if they had a character that could do combos back and forth, and that's kind of what Leo did. But because I saw one of the Behemoths throw them back behind him, I was like, oh, so he can just set play you without having to worry about the wall. But I don't think the bomb's going to work like that. The eye laser might be, but obviously that's going to be 50 tension. So I'm still going to try him. I think the inputs, the idea is really cool because there's not many characters that have a intentional side switch. Obviously, you get lab monsters that lab side switch combos, but he's just got a move that puts you behind him in a combo, which is really sick. So yeah, I have no idea what he's meant to do because someone that size normally has a command grab and he doesn't have a command grab, but he's got a lot of guard crush attacks.
Yeah,
so,
that could lead to throws anyway. And
yeah.
it would be kind of crazy if he had a command grab, not going to lie. Like,
yeah,
it would be way too much. Cause,
I think something really cool about him, I think Jonathan said this as well, and he tweeted it before I did, so I just liked his one. A real cool concept, I feel, is having a character with a lot of gimmicks that turn out to be real mix, right? Because everyone says, oh, that's 25 frames, you can react, blah, 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 whatever. A lot of people say that. But this character has 8 moves that have similar looking startup. So when he does the overhead coffin and you get hit and people are like, oh, it's reactable, that's when I'm going to start laughing because that's going to be interesting because there's going to be more than 7 other variations.
There's like 8 options you got to keep track of in that situation. You know? Like, it's literally, it's just like Chip. It's the same thing I say for Chip. It's like, oh, that's punishable, that's reactable, but when he throws like 5 different options at you, or he has 5 options off a block string, and technically they're all reactable, but in different ways, that's the mix-up, you know?
Yeah. Straight Alpha Blade and up Alpha Blade, you can react to him vanishing, but you can't do the same thing to stop both of them.
Exactly.
So you still have to guess. So, and I think he's going to be like that. It's like, yeah, you can react, but you have to be able to know which one out of the 8 options he's going to do.
Exactly.
So
you still got to make a read, basically. You know?
It kind of goes back to the whole Faust item thing. It's just like you're going to have to learn all of Gold Lewis variants of the Behemoth Typhoon in order to be like, okay, I know how to react to this accordingly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this character. I haven't been excited for like a character in a while, but you know, leave it to Dice Gate and never disappoint. You know, always. And like I said, when I first played Guilty Gear, I was really into like how interesting and unique all the characters were and how different they were, and I was like, man, I would like to learn everybody. Like, all the characters are interesting. Even in Strive, like, you know, first couple of weeks the game came out, I like played a little bit with everybody, and I was like, man, everyone is interesting, you know. But you know, for the sake of time, I have to focus on Kai most of the time. But that's why I like labbing so much because every matchup is different. Like yesterday, we found out something about False, and you might have noticed this when I played against you earlier today, Ponteronten. False round start 2P is real, apparently. Like, it's for some reason it low profile stuff. So and it hits you, right? Like, at least Kai can't do anything about it at like round start range, right? So what I figured out is that if you micro walk round start back, and he does that, or any button really, you do / as Kai, and you'll get a counter hit into a combo. And you know, Kai conversions are kind of booty mid-screen, so you don't really get much. But at least you get the initial knockdown, and then you can walk up and try to mix or whatever. So, you know, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So
crazy
amount of stuff. It's like those like little interactions, right? That only is specific to False. You know, like it's not really specific to anyone else.
No.
So you know, those kind of things are what I like about this game. You know.
Yep.
But
Hero characters, but more depth altogether, so to say.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Our system work is already in the verification process for adding crossplay to Guilty Gear Strive. So that's another one. We may get crossplay. I do remember they did an interview a while back where they pretty much said, let's see. Of course, we're always striving to accomplish this. They talk about crossplay, and we are going through the verification processes for it, wrote the ARC system devs. But there are still many practical issues like scheduling and running costs of matching servers. It'll take a little bit more time before we can make a concrete announcement. So basically right here, that's pretty much a confirmation. Like, I don't see why a company would put that kind of language out there, you know, knowing that, like, they're like an actual company who have PR people who check everything that's being said, and they're very, you know, ArcSys historically is very, you know, on point with their communication. Like, this is literally a confirmation at this point that they're literally in the process of doing it right now, you know? So,
And seeing
you
from
know,
that perspective, we can actually see like this is pretty good to have and to see it move forward. There might be some technical things that they have to put into consideration since the console players might have suffered from an input delay on their console alone. So it might be very tricky since PC players might actually have an upper advantage because of the lower input delay.
yeah, like a lot of people were saying that they might have to match the input delay on PC, which means we're now gonna. If that does happen, there's a very high possibility that we're all gonna have to play on 4 frame delay,
Oh boy.
and that's just gonna suck. So,
Mhm.
but hey, I mean, we got it. I'll adapt if it means a bigger player base, more players, easier to
Oh
find
yeah.
games. I mean, I'll do it. It's gonna suck. I'm gonna miss, instant reactions, but hey,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
It'll
It is
happen
what
as
it
you go.
is. What do you think about
C4.
this C4?
So from the beginning of this game, you will never. Well, from the beginning of this game, I said I'm not going to play this game online for tournaments. I just refuse to do it. I think the game. I have a. I have a soft place for Guilty Gear, and I think for me, playing online is kind of disrespecting the game. For me, because of stuff like IB and FDIB, I want that to be part of my game plan, and I don't want to have to go online and go, I just can't do this part of my game plan. So I just played like casuals. I've played like 5 games of ranked. I had someone rage quit. I was like, "Well, this is pointless. I just want to play the game. I don't need points." So I just literally catch me in the park, or I'll give you a room ID and I'll play you. But for competitive, for me, those 2 aspects of the game are two tools that really stop a lot of the things that people think is strong. So like Soul, if you FDIB fire S, trust me, if you could
Pushes
do that
him way
consistently,
out.
no one would be moaning about the character. No one
Yeah.
would be moaning because you couldn't do anything. But obviously
It doesn't even cost that much meter to do either. It costs a very
yeah.
small amount of meter to just instant block like one
Mm-hmm.
part of his string to push him like far away from you.
Yeah,
So that
it's
he
about
can't
half
loop you.
screen, and it's like, yeah, you can be +3, but you're all the way over there. You're Soul. Like the best you can do is maybe get a 6S out, and that probably won't reach.
Yeah.
So there's those 2 tools that make such a big difference in matchups that for me to play online and try to get those techniques out and not get them is just going to make me sad. I'm just going to be crying in the corner. So I just said I'll play offline if it's a tournament. Online, I'm not brave enough. In regards to the crossplay, for me, it's cool because I just adapt anyway. I go from PC to PS4. I feel the difference. I definitely feel the difference, but I'm not competitive, so it doesn't bother me. So it just means I get to play a lot more people that are like, in my head, they're like stranded on console and they never get to play PC players, and vice versa. There's some really strong console players that PC players will never get to play. So
Yeah.
in that aspect, I like it. But like you guys have been saying, the implications of making the experience fair for both players is going to be hard because of the inherent delay. Yeah, if they can do it and they can make it fair, like maybe a middle ground, not just give the PC players all the PS4 lag, that would be horrible. If they make like a middle ground, then I'm all for it. And like you said, tournaments will be bigger. You have way more interaction with players that you've never seen before. It's like Pokemon with people being region locked. Like you get a version of Pokemon. It's like, yeah, I can't catch this Pokemon because I'm on console. I just never get to play this PC player that's winning all tournaments. And you see like really cool matches. So yeah, I'm all for it as long as they can make it work. I know there was a couple of problems with the Street Fighter 5 one, but at least they've got like a frame of reference to go like, okay, we need to make it as good as or better than this this framework that the Capcom have done.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. So
That's a good, interesting take on it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, speaking of offline, I got a message today on Discord. Someone from Toulouse, the city I live in France, told me that locals are back here in Toulouse, and
Nice.
and he invited me to come. But here's the problem. That's when the Strive Major begins. At the same exact time. So Strive Major, July 31st to September 18th. We got 8 qualifiers. We're going to be putting up $1,000 minimum for the prize pool of the finals on September 25th. 2 people qualify every single week for 8 weeks. It's going to be on. It was supposed to be on PlayStation, but we moved it to PC because everyone's playing on PC now instead of PlayStation. And we got NYC Furby's going to come commentate some weeks, and Shinkinsu is also going to come commentate other weeks. So, I can't just ditch that to go to my local, unfortunately, for the first time. But You know,
I respect it.
it kind of sucks. I was like, damn, that's literally same day, same exact time. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
You know, but he did say that they're going to be doing more. So hopefully, at some point in the future, I'll be able to go. Maybe I'll get a streaming backpack or something and try to stream it like IRL, or I need to find a way to stream it from there. And yeah, my ultimate goal is to start running like a Toulousian, local scene and cultivating the community here, because there apparently is a FGC down here. It's not but they're all from like the outskirts of, like, some people are from Toulouse, but Toulouse is surrounded by like a lot of what they call communes, which is basically like rural, like traditional French towns with like the
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean, like the fucking stone houses and shit,
Nice.
out there. They're like that. It's like small
Oh, yeah.
little towns of less than like 100 people or 200 people or 1,000 people or whatever. And yeah, apparently a lot of people out there play Guilty Gear. So, and they drive
Nice,
up to,
sick.
and before Corona, they used to drive up to Toulouse every week and play the locals. So
Nice.
we're gonna try to make that happen. And yeah, so that's the thing. And I'm pretty sure locals are back over where you're at, right? Down there in London or up there in London? 'Cause
We had one last week called Meltdown. It's basically we have like a
like the
pub
Meltdown
slash
bar?
gaming thing. Yeah, it's basically these people buy pubs
Yeah, there's
and
one
turn
in
them
Toulouse
into
as
gaming
well.
events.
Yeah, there's one in Toulouse. There's actually one downtown.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay,
have
then
one
yeah,
as well.
we've got two. I think we've got two of those in London. They did a Strife tournament last week. I think it was Wednesday. They're gonna do it like bi-weekly on Sunday, I think now. So I might try and go to one of those. Like, it's not local to me. It's close that I could get there, but obviously some things that people don't think about at the time is like, oh, when does the event close and how am I going to get back home?
Yeah,
I've got that
true.
problem. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a hour and a half drive for me, and I'm like,
Oh,
if I
mamma
lose
mia.
the tournament, that hour and a half drive is going to be real annoying. So,
Listen, man, I used to live in Atlanta. I can't tell you the number of times I came home at 2 a.m. driving on the highway, I-75, drunk out of my mind from the event because I had to schmooze, fucking trying to not get pulled over.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that a lot
Yeah.
of times, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to secure the bag, man. The
Oh,
bag
yeah.
is worth your life, bruh. Like,
I mean, in Rev, I was driving to like Manchester, and I live near London, so that was like a 4-hour journey, and I was winning the tournament, and I was just about making my petrol money back. Like, that's when I was proper competitive and I was caring. I was like, as long as I can reimburse myself and not lose money, I'll go anywhere that I can to prove a point. That's when I was super competitive.
Hey,
Now I'm like,
that's a winning strategy, though. You can make a career off that. You keep doing those tournaments and breaking even. Eventually you can start doing you might start getting invited to the bigger stuff. And winning even more money.
Oh boy.
I almost got there, but I played on Hitbox. So when they had the Japanese qualifiers, I couldn't go. I qualified, but I couldn't go because their tournaments are run on cabs in Makido.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got cock blocked by my Hitbox, but I still stepped over it.
Cock blocked by Fight Stick, bro.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
back then, man. Yeah, people might not know the era where like I was shunned at tournaments, man. People were like, "Can I check your hitbox and make sure it's fair and stuff?"
The
And I was
cheat
like,
box. Yeah,
"Yeah, I was
there
like,
was
don't worry,
a
it's
time where
clean."
people were like legit thinking that you were cheating if you used the hitbox. There was a
Oh, yeah,
time.
oh, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. All right. So let's get on to the next news. All right. What do we got? Now you can smell his. Oh my God, the perfume. No.
We can talk about this. I want to talk about this.
Ponteronten, no.
This is the true level of merchandising like crazy. So the article is called "And Now You Can Smell As Good As Old Bad Guy Is Broken with This Guilty Gear Stripe." It's perfume. What they have announced here is 2 new kinds of different perfumes that they have here. A new line of scents lets fans douse themselves in smells that are based on and reminiscent of the game's main characters, Soul Bad Guy and Kyle Kiske.
Listen,
What could
Ponteronten.
they-
Listen.
Yeah.
Soul's fucking perfume
Yeah.
smells like smoke.
Yeah.
You literally paying to smell like a hobo.
Absolutely, and that's the ridiculous part. It's just like you have one that makes you smell like a hobo or a heavy smoker, and then you go over to Kai's scent, which is, and I quote, "Kai's scent, on the other hand, is a soft, gorgeous floral note with lemon, jasmine, and even black tea all thrown into the mixture. This perfume reminds the
sounds nice,
creators of
actually.
the sharpness of its thunderstorm." And
Not
I
gonna
always
lie,
just feel
that sounds kind of nice. I would wear that. I'm not even capping.
Sure.
But
Sure.
Souls, this man got you. Yo, that means Soul is literally a pissy drunk chain smoker, bro. That's what that means. Like he looks the part, I guess.
Now we can actually accuse them and say like, hey man, I bet you use So Bad Guy's perfume as well because you sure smell like one.
I know, right? Smell like soul, bro. Why you smell like smoke? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like you don't need to pay to smell like that. You know, you don't need to buy $100 perfume to smell like that. Like, come on.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that they have this with the pricing. Each Guilty Gear perfume comes in a 30 milliliter bottle, about 1 ounce, and will run you about $30. And you can purchase it by Amazon Japan. So this is one of those things. It's like, should you buy it or should you just give it to someone that just be like, hey man, you smell bad. Here, smell smoky now with Soul Bad Guy.
I'm about to hit you with the real shit, bro.
Yeah.
Conventions are coming back. I'm gonna fuck around and go to a convention, and somebody's gonna be wearing that shit.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be acting like they have the drip or something, like they're the cock of the walk, and then it's just like, dude, what the fuck is that? It's like, oh, it's the Guilty Gear perfume with Soul Bad Guy. It's like, oh really? Because it feels like you came back from outside after having a heavy smoke.
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's gonna be like, bro, what is that piss smell, bro? Like.
And then he pulls out his small bottle. It's just like, it's the smell of the game.
This is what the game smells like, dog. It's not me. Yo, that would be a great cosplay. Somebody literally cosplays a soul and then wears his perfume. That would be an amazing cosplay. I'm not even gonna cap. But Kai's Kai's, I gotta say, they nailed it. Us Kai players, we're kind of fancy. We're kind of we're cultured. We like our neutral. Like, this is a drippy scent. I like it. It's nice. I would like to see what it actually smells like, because a lot of cheap perfumes don't really smell too good.
Oh yeah.
Like, I bought my wife some pretty nice perfumes, and the ones that when we tested, like the ones that don't cost too much, like they don't smell too great.
Oh yeah.
Also, years ago, met a guy in cons where he said he was a master perfumer or something. He told me about the whole business of how they go about making scents and stuff. Apparently it's a science. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole process, a whole thing. You got to be a specialist at it. You got to know how to like smell things and scents and be able to combine scents. So, I don't know, it's crazy. Anyway, apparently that's why perfume costs so much. So there you go.
A lot of work behind it. Yeah. C4, what are your thoughts on this?
I saw this on Twitter and I thought it was a troll. This is the first time that that's why I've not been saying anything. I've been absorbing the information, so I'm morbidly curious, and I want to buy both of them just to have the smell, like just to know the smell, right? Also, if I was a Soul player, I think I could not buy it, because every time I beat someone with Soul, I'll just spray the scent above them. So that's what it is. Because everyone says like, "What is this? What is Soul doing?" And I'll just spray and say, "That is what it is. That's the spell of the game." Like, there you go.
You can do that at an offline tournament. Next offline you go to, you beat somebody with Soul.
Yeah, I would 100% do that. I mean, this perfume could make a Soul player at me. Just out of principle.
Exactly. All right, there you go. All right, there's the perfume. We now know what the game smells like. All right. Okay, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl revealed a Super Smash Brothers game, but with Nickelodeon characters.
Oh yeah.
So
this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Nickelodeon is here to eat some lunch. They're here to take what's their face's lunch, Nintendo. Yeah. And Nintendo. I applaud them for it, because I've been telling Smash players for a long time, Nintendo don't fucking respect the Smash community. Like, I don't know why I keep buying that shit. Go play Brawlhalla or something. Like, play something else. Like, make something else hot. Like, there's plenty of other Smash clones that would be glad to have you and give you everything you want,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, and Nickelodeon's like, hey, we're just going to take their lunch, because they already came out and said that they want to be competitive. They want to, get into that esports scene, and this is their foray into the esports. So they're going to give all the Nintendo players what they want,
And that is actually pretty cool to see that, because I actually looked behind the who's actually going to be working on this game, and it's actually Ludosity. It's actually a Skövde in Sweden based company who actually worked on Slap City, Super Smash Bros. Inspired fighting game as well. So it can tell me a whole lot that you will have a good fighting game on your hand, especially which actually connected to the next article. They will actually use our rollback-based netback code actually as well. So this really tells a different story of the whole thing, which is like, here comes Nickelodeon fan game, or rather Nickelodeon All-Stars fighting game with rollback netcode, and the developers will try and be more respectful. And they also have different kind of generations of characters. I even remember seeing like Rugrats Reptar seeing from there.
Our generation,
as well.
the Coomer generation, the Zoomer generation. They got them all, man.
Absolutely.
They even got, they even hit the nail on the head with the whole, like, children's cartoons appealing to grown-ass men trying to play a fighting game. You know? That whole demographic, they're just about to take it right off Nintendo,
Absolutely, absolutely. I wish them the best, really, with this project, and I hope it goes real well for them as well. It's just right now, it's like the only thing that can mess it up is the publisher, if they decide to, like, pull dirty, like, polls.
C4, are you ready to educate the community on Nickelodeon All-Stars? Nickelodeon All-Stars, you ready to roll up in people's chat and be like, listen, man, Reptar ain't that broke. You got a fucking wave dash shield, down punch to dodge that move.
I'm always gonna be like, this is broken. I'm always gonna do that. But I think so. I liked PlayStation All Stars. I thought that game was real cool. I think it was a good spin on like the whole platform genre sort of thing. I'm kind of interested to see if the IP is pretty big. It could do damage to Nintendo.
Yeah,
like the IP of Nickelodeon is ridiculous. Like it's definitely on par with like Cartoon Network. And in terms of like a franchise thing, it's on like Dragon Ball Z level, right? Everyone's seen something from Nickelodeon. Yeah, everyone's gonna have a favorite character. There's no escaping it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think, and it's not going to be locked to Nintendo, as in like the console.
Yeah, it's going to be on every system. Yeah.
Exactly.
With rollback and possibly crossplay. So
we could be looking at the future. Obviously, there's still going to be Smash. That's not going to go anywhere. That's too legacy for it just to like vanish.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
But I think this could bring a new wave of platform players that were basically, it was Smash or nothing. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Brawlhaller is still big.
Yeah, Brawl is pretty big.
And Rushdown Revolt's doing this as well. It's like the Guilty Gear version of Smash.
And Rivals of Aether is also doing pretty well as well.
Rivals, it's got that whole old school like pixelated, not pixelated, pixel art, which is really cool. And this is just like, this is the fresh take on it, right? It's an IP that people dream of, and they come up with it, like their headcanon, like, oh, what if we could get like Reptar versus who else? Patrick. Like, this is stuff you get on like death battles.
This is stuff you do as when you're a kid and you got a Reptar toy and a Patrick Star toy. And you make them fight each other. Is literally that. And I think that's the major appeal of it. Because when I saw it, at first I thought it was a joke, and then I literally looked at the trailer and I was just like, yo, this shit looks kind of hard, not gonna lie. Like, I might want to play this one. Like, I'm not even into Smash, but this game kind of like, just from the screenshots, it appealed. And like, that's what's so good about the trailer. Like, the trailer shows off like mechanics, so like, but it shows it off in a way where like, if you don't play fighting games, it still looks cool. But like, if you're a fighting game player, you see mechanics and you're like, oh, okay, that looks interesting. So it literally appeals to like both demographics at the same time.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying it. I probably won't get good at it, but I'm definitely buying it.
I mean, I'll analyze it. That's what I'll do. I'll lab it, figure out how to play it, tear it apart. And, probably try to teach other folks. But yeah, like, it's an interesting game.
Absolutely.
As a streamer, it would be dumb not to play it. It's on the level. I would say this game will probably be much bigger than Guilty Gear Strive, like, in terms of like streaming.
Yep, 100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, so
small prediction then on who do you think is a top tier character? Where would you place Patrick Star? Just one last thing before we move on to the next article.
You know what? Because I saw what happened to Jiren in Dragon Ball, I think he's going to be the bottom. I think he's going to be bottom because everyone thought Jiren was going to have crazy stuff because of how he was in the series, in the show. Everyone's like, oh yeah, he's going to have like an overhead 2K, like he's going to be stupid or crouch light in that game. People was like, he's going to be unreasonable, and he was so bad.
Wouldn't it
So
be
I
ironic
think,
if like I think SpongeBob is probably like the biggest name on the roster.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to have the pro tag power. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be SpongeBob.
yeah, you think he's gonna have top one privilege?
Yeah, 100%. He is going to be the soul of that game.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, but I can already see it now. How to deal with SpongeBob guy? It's all over YouTube.
True story.
Just wave dash it, bro. That's about
Yeah.
to be Twitter all day.
Absolutely. Just wave dash the whole thing.
Yeah, just
I
wave dash
believe-
out, bro.
Yeah, I
Easy.
believe actually Nigel Thornberry would actually be like in the middle, and he will mostly be playing similar to Faust. They'll say like completely just different and strange to a lot of players, and they have no idea how to do the matchup against him.
Yeah,
facts.
they've got to make him super unorthodox. Like that,
Yeah.
that fits the character too much to not do that.
Did Nickelodeon
Absolutely.
ever have Bobby's World? Because I used to love Bobby's World as a kid. Did they ever have that show? I don't know.
No idea.
I don't. I
don't
they
think
maybe
so.
have. Maybe. I don't know. I could Google it later. But yeah, there's a few characters I would like to see. You know, so we'll see. We're gonna. That's like years of DLC right there.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
next news. Yep, it has. So this is a confirmation that Brawl Stars has, or All Star Brawl has rollback and wave dashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. No, they haven't commented on rollback netcode. Apparently, the Nickelodeon fighting game has rollback netcode on supported platforms, according to a dev in a Discord, and a PC version is coming as well. All right. I was wondering about
Nice.
that, if this game is going to be on PC or not. I can't, and someone else tweeted, I can't actually, I can't, I actually cannot. My brain was not prepared for this. And the PC dev says it has rollback, it has wave dashing.
Oh yeah.
He said it does have wave dashing. There you go. That's the tweet. So yeah, it's a real fighting game.
Oh yeah. We're going into new territory, everyone.
Yeah, it's a legit fighting game, guys. So we can't act like it's not. All right, so let's move on to the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is
Oh, yeah.
Valve's new handheld gaming device for PC games.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, we talked about this a little bit on the stream earlier this morning, and I basically said that, you know, Guilty Gear outsold on PC than it did on PlayStation. That's the rumor. I don't know if that's like legit or not, but that's the rumor, right? And if that's the case, then that means that, you know, with the release of a Steam Deck, tournament organizers might actually be able to run fighting games off of it, because, you know, fighting games aren't even that big. That's number one. They don't take much processing power, so it'll definitely run at 60 FPS. If you could hook up peripherals to it, like they say, you could hook up monitors, sound, you know, fight sticks. You could hook up anything to it and literally run
Absolutely.
it as like a mini PC.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if that's literally what I was telling people, unless there's like some input delay issue or some weird input delay like built into the Steam Deck, you know,
Oh yeah.
that might be the new system going forward for tournaments. And it's more compact, you know, and it's cheap, and it costs just as much as a PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
You know, the base version, I think. So and that's all
Absolutely.
you
Right.
really need, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I kind of like the screenshot that they actually posted there. That was actually from the Steam Deck's actual website. So you can see like an actual hitbox on the left and a Ulix on the right. And that tells me that some people have actually been there and played maybe Guilty Gear on that Steam Deck. It could just be one of those type of models that just be pan models that just like, okay, have here in front of the Steam Deck, and then act like you're playing a fighting game. So that is actually something we can also point to a certain thing talking about tournament organizers to offline events. Alex J. Bailey, the founder and CEO of CEO Gaming, has actually been interested in looking into this and seeing what kind of serious potential it has at a similar price point to consoles. The thing is that he wants to see is that, like, if it needs to always online connected to Steam, though, it might be the first setback actually to use it in local tournaments.
Yep.
Exactly, because from what I've heard from locals, they don't always have like crazy access to internet like for every single PC like that. But
Exactly.
you know, if you don't need to be online, and if you could be offline playing, then and there's no input delay, this is, you know, something that will definitely be adopted for the FGC. You know,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so there you go.
See
I
for
can see it. I think there's like there is like a couple of problems, because they did have Steam have done something like this before, where they had like it was like a box. I can't remember what they called it.
I think it
you
was
had a
Steam.
box.
Yeah. Whatever.
It was just obviously had to keep it on brand. It was a Steam something, but basically it allowed you to log into your account and then play on a monitor with the games you had on your account. And that cost like £10. It was so cheap. And I think one of the issues is with stuff like that, like you said, if you can't get the game on the hard drive, so it has to be online, then if it has to be online, most places can't do it. Like we've got a Red Bull gaming sphere in London, and they do it because they're PC based, right? It's Red Bull. They do stuff like League of Legends and whatnot. So they have the infrastructure to do that. But then you get some locals that are in the basement, like literally just in the basement or in the garage, where you can't have the capability to have everything online. So that might be a problem. The only other problem that I could see is I remember when Xbox was the tournament standard, and when PS3 came out, then everything was kind of on there, fighting game wise. Converters, I hate converters. They've got so many variables. So it's all well and good they've got a hitbox and a Vulex on that, but what about all the pad players that use PS4 and PS5 pads?
Oh yeah.
Are they gonna have to get a converter and then have like 10 milliseconds of delay? Like, obviously it can't be helped. It can't be helped. Like eventually the tournament standard console is going to change, even if it was like from console to PC. It's still going to change, and there's going to be certain things, whether it be the devs that don't program other peripherals to work correctly, or just Steam that are just like, bruh, like what is this? What is this book converter? I don't know what this is. Get this out of me. So,
I mean, I think Steam is usually pretty good with like controllers and stuff. So I don't see why that would be an issue personally. Like
I don't think it will if it's online, but if we're doing an offline Steam Deck and you can't update the firmware, that's when I'm like, tournaments are going to run really rough.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that one thing that also is a small setback is actually the hardware. Is it strong enough to present and render games like, for instance, Guilty Gear Strive or Street Fighter 5? Because if it becomes a trouble for that to keep up a steady 60 frames per second, it might make it way too difficult for people to actually pick up and play and use it, because you might get these frame drops, and that can really throw a lot of players off, especially those that might have to rely heavily on their inputs and perfect timing.
Exactly.
I definitely hope it does work. I hope you can just plug it into a monitor, then it displays on the monitor and there's no issues. Because like you said, it's so much better than lugging around like a PS4 or a PS5 to an event. Absolutely. You can just have something that fits in your pocket, man. Like this hopefully is the future.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great. Let's just hope that it works, because then that would, change the game as far as offlines are concerned. So if it works, great. If it doesn't, whatever. Somebody will make it. Somebody will make something that works at some point. All right, so I think that's it for the news. So we can get into the interview portion of the not the tournament,
PogCast.
Yeah, of the PogCast. POG, by the way. All right, so we got C4 here. Me and Ponteronten are going to interview him, and then we are going to both first to three him and get utterly washed. I'm ready for it.
Oh
yeah. And I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. And so let's talk about you, C4. What got you into fighting games? What was your first fighting game experience, and how did that affect you and get you into, the life?
So my very first fighting game experience was Marvel 2, playing against my uncles. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a kid. I was like 5 or something. I was just pressing buttons, saw the flashing lights, was like, yo, I'm doing that. It's super sick. And I didn't play fighting games for like about 10 years, maybe a bit more than that. Then I used to do breaking. One of the places I used to do breakdancing was near a place called Gamerbase, where basically that's where Ryan Hart and all them lot played Street Fighter. So I kind of went, oh yeah, I remember playing fighting games. This looks cool. So I started watching. I got Street Fighter 4. No, actually, no, I didn't. I got Cross Tekken. That was like my first game where I was like, oh, I want to be good at a fighting game. Everything before that, I was just kind of just playing my mates like Marvel and stuff. Cross Tekken came out. I started, me and 2 other people. Oh, one of them, Jammers, HD Jammers. He was in a place, literally, he would be there for 2 hours in T mode. He would go offline for T mode. This is why Jammers is so good at what he does. He is a ridiculous lab monster. He went out of his house to lab and then help people.
Jeez.
Yeah, he taught me the game. He was like, "Oh yeah, this does this, blah blah blah." And then Theory Fighter, the other guy, was like, "Yeah, this is why you're trash at this game. You need to learn footsie." So like, okay, cool. So
That's funny.
and I just wanted to beat both of them because they were both clearly better than me. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this will be like the David and Goliath story. This is my hero's journey. I'm gonna beat two really good players." It didn't really happen, unfortunately, but I got good at other games. I got good at other games. Pretty much only Guilty Gear. That was the only game I got good at. With that was kind of one of the reasons I like for GR is because I like to think I can never be the best, so I've got something to strive for. That they should use that for the header for Guilty Gear Strive. But yeah, so when I was playing Xrd, I got put in a WhatsApp group, and my mate whose name was CT, that was his gaming tag. Everyone in that group called me CT's friend. They said, until you win a tournament, you're just going to be CT's friend.
Damn.
Which is kind of bullying, straight up bullying. Like, now I look back on it, it's like, yeah, most people would not put up with that shit. They wouldn't play this game. But because I'm twisted and mental, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll just make sure I win a tournament. And that basically pushed me to get good at the game. So yeah, it's not a very nice story. I don't wish it on anyone else. I literally got bullied into being good.
Hey, I mean, that's the culture, though.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, people are kind of too soft now." I don't really buy into that. I just know that people are different. Like that technique works on certain people. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong," and some people are like, "This isn't worth it," which I think are both reasonable responses.
I would even go as far as to say that might be the secret to being good at fighting games is you got to deal with the bullying, because I mean fighting games are not nice. Like, you're getting bullied in the game, like
I mean, it's something similar to like when you go to the gym. You can go to gyms where everyone is just like, oh, hello, and then you just do your thing. But sometimes you actually might have a gang with you, or you meet other people and they might see that you're doing the bench and you're having trouble. Some of them will just cheer for you and say, come on, you can do it. Others will say, you will fucking fail. And then that's the reason you'd be like, you stupid mother, I'll press this fucking handlebar if I want to. And then you succeed, and he's just like, all right, good. You did good. Now try more next time.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, all right, fine, I will.
Similar
here in fighting games.
I feel like I kind of respond to that kind of, thing as well. Like, somebody beats me, and I'm like, oh, fuck this guy. Go again.
Run it back.
Yeah, run that shit back, bro. I'll lose again. All right, yo, fuck this guy. This guy's mashing. Run it back.
Let me actually tell a story. I actually started playing some Killer Instinct before I removed it again. I actually went against a Jago, and eventually he started teabagging me. But here's the bad thing. I started getting wins. And then he was just like, okay, he actually takes me serious, and he's trying to get into my head with the teabags when he gets around. He immediately tries to do a super out of random. I immediately shadow counter it, and then I immediately go to do my combo, and he's just rage quits. I was just like, okay, bye. Be that way.
Hold that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get so many different types of like people that play fighting games. They're not all going to be nice, unfortunately. That's just how the world is, right? Like,
absolutely.
There's some people got into fighting games because of bad situations in their life. And some people got into it because their friends played it and it was all cool and it was all, I did that in school. I was playing like Alpha and not knowing what I was doing, but it was all smiling because it was fun. But sometimes when you play for money, there's people out there who have like real dark stories. I don't know if anyone knows about Lost Soul. Lost Soul's backstory is...
I don't know his backstory though.
Bruh, I don't want to spoil it. There's an interview that he does with... I can't remember who it was. It was a guy that used to do interviews. I think he was from the UK and he moved to America. I'll link it to your Discord later. And it's like heartbreaking. It's like you could make it into a movie.
That's crazy.
Like just the origin of his name, which I'm not going to spoil. The origin of his name is heartbreaking. And when I play fighting games, I've said this like at the beginning, and it's kind of trolly, but it's true. I don't play fighting games to make friends. I don't even consider myself part of the FGC. I just play fighting games. I'm a fighting game player. That's what I am, because there's some things about the FGC that I do like and there's some that I don't. And I don't want to have to defend the bad stuff. So I just go to places, I play games. If someone asks me a question, I'll be civil, I'll be polite. If I have to play someone in a tournament, I'm not going to teabag them just to wind them up. But I'm not there to gain respect. All respect I feel from fighting games is earned. So you can respect my gameplay or my opinion. I don't just expect you to like it or respect it because I'm part of the FGC. So I don't really buy into all that, but I do understand that some people don't want to play games to be, chucked into the fire and battle hardened like some warrior from like World War Hulk. Like, I understand that's not what everyone is there to do. Some people are just there to have fun. So I think as long as people can respect everyone else's stance on why they play fighting games, I think we can all get along. So
I agree with that 100%. All right, so we got your origin story. Why Guilty Gear, like specifically? Is it just because like you like the mechanics? You said you played a lot of different fighting games, but why specifically Guilty Gear? Like, what is it about this game that makes you, want to invest so much time into it?
So at first, it was literally the bullying at first, and when the game was coming out, I did not care. I thought Chip was cool. That was it. But then when they showed Leo, I was like, wow, he's Vegeta. And at the time, I was going, we're never going to get a Dragon Ball game. So the next best thing is to play Leo. So I played Leo thinking, I'm never going to see Vegeta in a game. This is the closest I'm going to get. When I started looking at the game other than previous games, so when I was learning Cross Tekken and Street Fighter, all those sort of games, and Marvel and team games, I played like loads of Persona. When I looked at this game, I was like, okay, cool. It's its own entity. Let me see why I'm bad. Because I used to play a few players. The biggest one was a guy called Shorty. He was a high player now, funny enough, but he played Venom in Rev. And he was smoking everyone. And this is the kind of mindset I have now, where when I first played, I was like, this is Venom versus Leo. I actually just can't get in. It's a 10-0 matchup. I can't win. And I was like, well, boy, I better find a pocket character or just, face roll and hope I get in. He showed me my flaws. Like, there's so many mind games that you can do in Guilty Gear, and there's so many ways you can manipulate situations. That's why I like it. And I think I've said it in your chat before. Like, when you've got tension, every matchup is 50-50. And I don't think you get that in many other games, especially in X-Sub, where you're like, yeah, you can do this block string, but you can't if I IB this, because then there's a gap and then I can one frame throw you. Or, you can do that block string, but I can FD and make the next bit hit and then whiff punish you. Or, you think you're going to kill me, but I've got a burst. There's so many ways to stay interacted in the game where other games are like, you get knocked in the corner, you take a mix, you guess a block, and that's it. That's the only place you partake in this combat. Like, even those two players, there's only one job for you to do. And if you can't do it, next round. And some people don't want to play Tetris. Some people just don't want to block. And some characters, that's all they allow you to do. Guilty Gear, I never felt like that. I never felt that there was something, bar Johnny. Johnny was the only exception, and that's why I stopped playing Rev. Bar Johnny, I always felt that I could make the right decision. With Johnny, I thought, if the Johnny player is just that good, there's nothing I can do. Which was unfortunate. But I saw Omito. I saw the French Omito as well. There was a guy from France who was basically not copied paste, but he saw the blueprint and went, I'm going to do this better. And I played him and it was like, damn, I only got this game or this round because you messed up something. And when it got to that point, I was like, well, why am I playing? If I can't outsmart someone and I have to rely on them making a mistake, there's no fun. And I can't go to a tournament and go, I'm not going to play Johnny players. Like, just don't put any Johnny players in my side of the bracket. So I was just like, I just got to play my friends then, because I don't want to play Johnny, not because it's frustrating for me. I don't want to feel like my win is produced because my opponent done something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way. Like, I like to play fighting games for the counterplay, the mind games, exactly what you said. Like, that's what drew me to Guilty Gear as well. Same thing. Coming from simpler fighting games, you come to Guilty Gear, it's like, I can always make a choice. I can always make a decision. I can always make a read at any time. Even
on defense, you can make game-winning plays, and that doesn't happen often. If you watch like Fab compilations in Rev, he makes so many insane game-winning defensive plays. It's criminal. It's just insane. And like I said, I don't think it's in many other games. And then I like the aspect of the depth. It's a lot of fluff. A lot of the depth is fluff. So like every character having a different wake-up time in all the weight classes. It's a headache. I understand it's a headache. I liked it because it showed mastery, and I have an ego like Vegeta. So I liked that aspect, but I know it's fluff, and I know them taking that away makes Strife good, because now more people want to play it and not go, I need to take a class at 3 o'clock because I need to learn 49 characters, different wake-up time as if they're face down or face up. Like, it's fluff. It's not interesting having to know something so fundamental like wake up timing, because then you have to go, well, I can't do this Oki because it won't work on this character. I had stuff like that. I couldn't do Oki on Bedman because his wake up time was too slow, or I couldn't do Oki on Pop because Pop was so big. Every time I went for the Oki, it would OTG him, where smaller characters wouldn't OTG. Like, I understand that that's not fun for some people. I'm a bit weird, and I find that stuff interesting. So
yeah. So another question: do you miss Danger Time?
I've got two answers. Are you asking me as a player or a spectator?
Both.
As a player, I hated it with a passion. Even though I think Leo did well in Danger Time, I hated it. Actually, no, Slayer did the best in Danger Time. But I was close. Oh, yeah. As a spectator, I understand what they tried to do, and it is quite funny, and it's quite entertaining. But, yeah, as a player, I think it was the worst. The worst. I would rather have a combat mechanic than Danger Time. I'd rather have a combat mechanic. Danger Time is so gross. Like, it's a horrible 50-50. There's just no reason for it. There's no need. Like, just don't do it. Or if you have to do it, make it last for like a second. Not, it feels like 10 minutes. And I think it was does. I think it was like 7 seconds.
Yeah, it was
like it felt like an eternity. You die in that time. You can die in 4. If you play Slayer and it's Danger Time and you get power bungered, you just die. Like,
it's over.
Yeah, it's done. So yeah, Danger Time as a spectator was really funny, but as a player, it was just nightmare fuel. I hated it with a passion. I hated it.
I'll say I
knew people. I knew people that put down their stick. There's a guy called Robo. Shout out to Robo. It happened to me and him in tournament. We got Danger Time. He did something like he played Axel. He did like 6K, and it clashed with my flash kick, and it went 3, 2, and he just put his stick down. He just refuses to play in Danger Time, and I did the same thing because I felt it. I did not want to play in Danger Time. So yeah,
man, that's crazy. You know, when I was playing Kai and Rev, I used to love Danger Time because then I would like cancel in the 6 heavy, the swooshy slash, and that would get you a fat mortal. That would get you a fat mortal counter combo, bro. That shit was hype. But when you got hit in Danger Time, you were just like, bruh, like no, not like this, you know. But when you're the one doing the damage, it's quite fun. It's like, yo, you're getting wrecked right now. Let's go.
Oh boy. Like, this guy's gonna get on here. I'm gonna be able to post this guy on Twitter. It's gonna be real good. I'm gonna get all that. I'm gonna farm all that clout. I remember when it happened to Son of Bears. He was a chip player and he was playing against a Slayer, and the Slayer got a Danger Time, and he deleted his health in 2 seconds in tournament. I think it was like grand finals as well.
Yeah, like, I think I remember that one.
And luckily, the Son of Bears was laughing. I would not be laughing, but I also wouldn't play chip. So maybe you need to be constructed uniquely to play chip and go, I probably was going to die anyway, regardless of Danger Time. Maybe that's why I thought it was funny. But yeah, not me. I couldn't be laughing at that, man. That would make me so angry.
Oh, man. All right. So, Pon, you got any questions?
Let's see here. We've been talking a little bit about the past and the current. Let's see. Do you have any plans in the future? Are you planning to join the Evo online if it's happening, or is there any events that's going to come in the future that you're going to be interested in joining?
I probably won't. No, actually, no. I definitely won't be playing any online tournaments. Hopefully, I'm trying to get on commentary for Evo. Hopefully, I can do that. So yeah, I'm more focused on commentating at the moment, basically because I remember the last big Rev tournament I won, I also streamed it. So I went down there with my equipment, I set up the stream, and I commentated the matches I could. And I got more money for commentating and streaming than I did for winning the tournament. And I was like, I'm done.
That's fine.
Yeah,
nice.
I was like, I'm done here. Something the Jam has been telling me for ages is like, look, bro, don't stress yourself out with playing games competitively. Just commentate. And I was like, I want to commentate. I want to prove something. And I was like, I don't need to do that anymore. My ego's settled down. I can say to myself if I've got the best Leo or not, and that'll be good enough for me. I don't need anyone else to like affirm it for me. So yeah, hopefully I can do a lot more commentating. Near the end of the year, I'm going to try and do a regular tournament for Dragon Ball and Strife. Like, they're kind of the 2 games that mean something to me still because of Vegeta. Basically, that's it. Vegeta in Dragon Ball, and Leo looks like Vegeta. And yeah, I want to do something different. So I'll probably do something like a 2v2. I really like team formatted games. I'm bad at them because I feel the burden cripples me. Like, I tried to play, I play a couple of MOBAs, mainly Smite, and now I'm trying Pokemon Unite. And when I know my team lost because of me, that feeling is very hard for me to deal with. But it's sort of like how I got into Guilty Gear, where it's like, I don't want to feel like that. So I'm going to try extra hard to learn, to practice, to improve. So I think when you do have 2v2 tournaments, your partner kind of becomes your responsibility. So if I was in a 2v2 tournament and my partner didn't know the matchup or a specific setup that I know would work against this character, I would go out my way to practice with them, to inform them. And I think that's the best way for certain people to learn. Some people just learn like on the job, right? They go into tournaments, they improve that way. You've got a lot of people like that. But I feel some people need someone to take time to help each other, not just like one person throwing information at another. It's very good when two people can throw information back and forth. And that's what I was saying about the critical thinking. When you're getting told to do something, when you're getting shown a YouTube video how to do a mix-up, you're not learning anything. You're just copy and pasting. You're not understanding why that's good, when you should do it, what play you should do it against, what beats it. You're just copy and pasting. But when you have someone who wants to win as much as you do, you can get so much more information out. So yeah, that probably won't happen. I'm probably going to get two of the best players just team up and just smoke everyone.
True story. We were talking a little bit about commentating and stuff like that, if we had the time for that question as well. Has there been any times that you have been doing commentary for a match that really threw you off, like surprised you heavily? For me and Justy, we've had we haven't had many times where we just were so surprised and flabbergasted that we couldn't even commentate. We were just like giggling like maniacs. It's just like, that just happened. How did that happen? I'm not sure. I can't even explain this.
I've definitely had those. How I respond is different. If I'm getting paid to commentate, I'll be professional and I won't do stuff like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, I'll try and go, okay, I think this was happening, blah, blah, blah. This character does this. I remember in the last round, blah, blah, blah. But if I'm just on my stream and I see that, I'm not paying attention to this game. I'm saying this game is stupid. It's a party game. This is ridiculous. Why is Dice Case Vision so blurred? Like, I'm making all the jokes. So yeah, it depends if I'm getting paid for it.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
You know, the officialness of the tournament.
Oh yeah.
All right, well there you go. Is it time for questions or first to three? I guess question. We have a question. What are some qualities you use to determine if a character is broken? That's a good question.
My bar for something being broken is extremely high. Extremely high. I think the word broken, I do it sometimes as well, like tongue-in-cheek sort of thing, like, oh yeah, Soul's broken. I don't think Soul is broken at all. I think for something to be broken, it has to have no reasonable way to counter it. And I know in Smash, things like Meta Knight got banned. I didn't play Smash, so I don't know. That seems like a very extreme thing to do. I think they did it more on results as well as him being very strong. I think when a character ruins tournaments, it's worth looking into, but I never think that's the answer. I always think about like Chris G winning with Morgan. I don't think Morgan was broken. I think Morgan was extremely strong, but she had flaws. For something to be broken in my book, it needs to have no flaws. Like, it just needs to work. There was a video that Theory Fighter did on a 10-0 matchup. And he asked me, I remember he asked me, like, what do you think would warrant a 10-0 matchup? And I was like, that sounds absurd. I don't think you can actually have a 10-0 matchup, like, unless you can't do something at round start and you lose to a Vortex. And he went, there was a matchup, I think it was Honda versus Geef.
I was actually
Geef
just about to say that, yeah.
Yeah, he did that video and I was like, oh yeah, I would say that's broken. That's hella broken. If you can Vortex SPD from round start, then yeah, it's broken because you can't do anything. Like, you're not partaking in the game as player two, as the Honda player. Other than that, I would say Soul's busted. I would say Ram's OP. But busted means that someone is not playing. Even if you was Daigo and you went into that matchup with the example of Geef and Honda, it doesn't matter. You're still losing. That's when it's broken. That's when it's busted. And I think in a game like Guilty Gear, maybe if they allowed IBing and FD IBing to be more consistent or doable, I think matchups would change so much that you wouldn't need to nerf so many characters. And I wish they would use that approach because that's why I love Guilty Gear in the first place. The core mechanics of the game made matchups winnable, doable, comfortable. But you might have to learn a couple of core mechanics, not go, well, my character can't do this because X, Y, and Z. So,
well, are you seeing IB buff in our futures? Because if I could IB, that changes a lot of things for me personally. Like, I've already labbed a lot of IB stuff, and I can't do any of it because it's impossible to do. So, if they, I did tell folks, I said they could change the meta of the game just by buffing IB alone. Maybe to like 4 frames or 5 frames or something, you know?
I think the issue now is, obviously this is hindsight, because at the beginning I was like, yeah, why are you nerfing IB? I can't beat X character because now you made IB way harder. But, so like in Third Strike, I know one of the things they did was they gave everyone a parry, right? To help the lower characters. But when you do a universal mechanic, you also buff the top characters.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like a character like Kai, I've been telling Theory Fire because he started off with Pot, and I was like, don't play Pot. And we had some games. I was like, yeah, just don't play Pot. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll play Kai. And I was saying, I think if someone could consistently IB, Kai would be unplayable. He would only be able to do tap throw because you can IB a clap and you would punish him every time.
Yeah.
A clap would be useless. You couldn't use it. And that's his go-to move to end pressure safely. So IB being easier would make it easier to fight some of the top tier characters, but it might also make the mid tier and the low tier characters unusable. Yeah. So it's hard. And they need to go back to, I think they need to do universal stuff again. Like in Rev, Pot's backdash was amazing compared to everyone else's. His backdash went nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
But he was invincible for 2.5 days, about that, and he would pot bust you straight afterwards. That was sick, and that was his thing. He could only do that. If they had some more unique stuff like that, I think they could overcome a lot of the universal changes that will buff weaker characters and buff stronger characters. So, yeah, that would be my take. But I do want the IBs to be stronger. No, sorry, I want the IB window to be bigger, 100%. I think 2 frames is a bit silly, honestly.
All right, well, I already sent you the code for the lobby, so we're hanging out in the lobby right now.
Cool. I'm communicating with the server.
All right, well, I'm going to turn my game sound up. I'm going to move to a different scene on the OBS real quick, so give me 1 second. And yeah, first to 3. Let's have some games.
Cool. Client Faust. I've only fought one Faust. I fought Garma Kilmer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Faust I've ever played.
Oh yeah, I heard she's very good in Exert as well.
Yeah, I never played her in Exert, unfortunately. But I played her in this game like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, Faust. Faust gets memed on a lot. I do think he's very strong. I don't think he's that strong. Yeah, I think he needs some. Right. I think he needs some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I think about buffs, I feel maybe you shouldn't do this, but I always go, okay, how much harder does this character have to work compared to this other character? So my bar is obviously Soul and Ram. If you have to work too hard to do what they do, it's not worth playing that character. But I say that, and I just play characters purely because of aesthetics, so I'm a hypocrite. I played, every character I play is because of aesthetics, not because they're good or bad. I hope that they're good. I played Nash. That didn't last long. In season 1, I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, everyone's telling me this character's broken. It's just because you can't react to a dash. You should be pressing buttons anyway. Then they nerfed him, and I was like, well, boy, I guess I'm just going to throw this weak-ass boom and not be able to anti-air you for jumping. Cool. Fun times.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I've told Juste that literally everyone that I know plays Kai.
Yeah, he's going to know this matchup so well. I am not. Yeah, this is going to be yikes. He's going to know everything I'm going to want to do.
I think you can do stuff in this game. You can add your flair to it. It's still hard. Like, matchups obviously exist. I'm not saying you can just outsmart your opponent and ignore matchups, but I've seen Pots beat Axels really convincingly. Like,
yeah, we've seen it too. Yeah,
it's not uncommon, and that matchup is notorious for being like bad, but there's always things you could do, man, and that's why the game's good. And if I've definitely had things where I'm like, I've definitely played Pots and gone, this matchup is 9-1. Pots should never beat me. If they do, they just outplayed me. And I've gone into that with that mindset and then got destroyed, not because of the things I was looking for. They were doing things that I didn't expect. They were doing like random Garudas, and I'm like, why would you do that? And I'll be like, because it hit me. That's why you did it. Because I wasn't ready. Because I was looking for Hammerfall or
something else,
Kara Potbuster. Yeah, they did the things I didn't look for. So that's always something I have to try and remind myself when I go into a matchup that I think I'll win.
It would really boil it down to sort of say to that level is just like, what kind of player is this? What kind of things does he like to use? Does he know my weaknesses and know what I'm looking for when he attacks me?
100%.
So, oh yeah, very finicky, tricky stuff. And that's the quick adjustments. That's one. I think that's also a good way to say like download complete after the first match. It's just like, okay, he knows exactly what this guy is. Is he a one-trick pony, or can he just adjust quickly to things? It's just like, oh, my projectile didn't work because this Faust deflected him all the time.
And that's really hard, I feel, to do in like a tournament. I can't imagine me doing that, but I did. Maybe because I played Leo, it was a lot easier because I was the one doing that to them. They had to download what I was doing. But now, like in this day and age, I think it's very hard to like download someone in one match. I think it's extremely hard to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it happen in the ICFC. You know, it was crazy. Darwin's done it. You know, played one game, lost it, then just downloaded 3-0 right back.
Yeah,
you know?
that was sick. I remember when Koji did it as well. Koji, when you won with Pot, I was like, "What? How are you guessing so well?" I was like, "No, he's not guessing. He's just downloaded on the job, like in real time." It's just godlike.
All right, let's get it.
Let me stop the stream as well.
Are you ready?
Okay. And we're off. On our left, we got Juste Meta Gaming playing as good old Kai, and on C4 we have Leo. So this will be quite an interesting matchup because this is actually getting into the Shoto and the hold pushback, similar to Ryu and Guile. So it will be interesting to see how this goes. Back at both three players right now. Good anti-air right now from C4 right now. Both of them keeping respect for the footsies right now. Good projectile sent from C4, but sadly it didn't get an opening. Good approaches right now. Good use from Juste getting the opening up here. They're exchanging blows and projectiles. Good dash through right there from C4, but sadly nothing to build upon it right now. And Juste is now applying a whole lot of pressure into that corner, making sure that C4 does not get a chance to do a lot of breathing space. Good blue Roman cancel there from C4. He gets to get out of that corner right now. Tries to find openings that it doesn't really connect as well to convert. And now it's switch places right now. Good anti-air attempt, but right now C4 managed to punish that completely and keep the pressure going right now. Oh, he's standing on his back right now, but apparently he changes back to his normal stance. Good dash through right there. Gets countered from attempt from his overhead. Keep a good friend's attempts going on right now. But C4 is just gonna go with the good old projectiles. That was the first round. Going back to the neutral footsies right now, trying to find openings right now, while C4 is keeping a good blocking defensive position right now. Gets a good poke and gets punished from the DP, Juste delivers along with the whole slew of block strengths. Gets punished from his DP, but sadly no conversion from C4. Good wake up DP right there from C4. Trying his best right now to get a lot of damage in right now. Good wake up from Juste. Will it connect? It does. Good attempt. Good block strings right now. Good dash through right there from C4. Gets grabbed mid-air. Oh, wow. Good attempt on dust there, but C4 was ready for it completely, and he's just going at it with the projectiles. It's just going ham like crazy. Good Roman cancel right there. Good burst from C4. This might be a very tight situation. Nice good DP from C4. Nice. Getting the first match point. Very nice indeed. Off to the second match. Good amount of defense going on right now. Just keeping a bit more on the offensive side right now, making sure that C4 doesn't get a much chance to do much more aggressive approaches. Therefore, he will take it as a good chance to do projectiles. Juste going up the burst right there to make sure that it goes a little bit more for the breathing space. C4 getting a whole lot of damage in there right now. Found up grab there from Juste, keeping the pressure right now. C4 getting back out of that corner. And Juste getting surprised by the DP from C4, and C4 is doing his best to mess up Juste a little bit here. Very tricky situation right now. Red Roman cancel right there from Juste. Keeps on with the block stream right now. Tries to find an opening right now against C4. C4 keeps on with a good shield. Gets a few pokes every now and then, but sadly he doesn't follow that up. Good projectile use. Ooh, very dangerous. Good pokes right now from C4. It gets thrown, however, from Juste for getting too close. Oh man, this pressure is going ham right now. Good opening from an overhead. Juste getting a round point. Back and forth. Find an opening right now. C4 getting a first strike, but Juste managed to go burst out of it. Get a full tension meter. Good use of the purple Roma canceled from his projectile. And now he keeps on with the pressure right now on poor C4. C4 says enough and managed to break out of it. Both of them challenging each other with a projectile. And it just goes crazy right now. C4S doesn't know exactly what he can do with Theo's projectiles. We got ourselves a wall break, giving positive tension to C4. Juste keeping on with the block string right now, tries to find an opening and make sure that C4 doesn't get to do anything fishy. Gold blue burst from C4, and he punishes Juste, getting himself another round point. Work right now. Nice overhead approach from Juste. Tries his best to get more damage in there. Well, C4 is trying his best right now to get an opening in return. Good use of projectile there. Good air to air right there. Keeping on with the defense, getting a wall break again. Get all of this damage. Good use of Roma cancel to go to air right now. Gold blue burst from Juste. Tries to get an approach. This is getting very distractingly hard right now. Very nice approach. Going back to neutral right now, respecting the footsies. Good wake, DP there from C4. Tries getting a good amount of setup up. And we're getting the right the lightning. And it's wow! Really well done off a wall break. We're going back here to the metro systems. Oh, this is getting exciting.
Nice.
Very nice.
I was gonna grab you there.
Definitely just decided to mash. Definitely just mashing. I was like, I don't want flash keys. I don't want my flash keys to get thrown, so I'm just gonna mash the button.
Very nice. Going to third match. First starting off with a Suke from C4 and gets a burst in return from Juste. However, C4 keeps on with the pokes right now and goes out an enhanced version of projectiles. Tries to do a lot of poking right now. Just a surprise dash through right now. He has the bootsies. Really punishes Juste's attempts right now. Very nice air throw right there from Juste. Now keeping pressure right now against poor C4. Allowing him not a good chance to... Oh man! He challenges him with a 5P, and that is something that rewards him a whole lot. Giving him a round point. Oh. Standstill. Going into Samurai Showdown sometimes here. Good amount of pressure right now from Juste. Keeping C4 locked in that corner right now. Just wants to be careful what kind of blocking he's going for right now. Going for a DP at the opening right now. Reigns trying to catch up right now. Very risky. Yeah, that was very risky, but it was smart. C4 is going now on the hunt right now, putting more Juste in that corner, leaving him no chance to breathe whatsoever. Good dash throw right there. Nice wake-up deeply from Juste, preventing that slam down from C4. And now he's keeping the blockchain into that corner completely, making it hard for him to do something. This might be an actual good point for him to challenge again with some pokes. Oh, man. Oh, man. Very risky when you try to challenge those. Very nice.
Nice aggression. Oh, so tough in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you were mashing. I didn't want to grab you. I was like, yo, he was challenging everything, bro. I was like, yo, you're literally out here challenging everything, bro. I'm afraid to grab you.
I'm a nut. If I'm not in shock state, I will mash. Because I've not been convinced that Kai can do enough damage to show me not to mash unless he's got shock state.
That's true. I mean, these are facts. Hold on, let me spectate real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right, there you go. Man, that was good though. I do feel like I've gotten better since I last played you though, C4.
Yeah, no, for sure. I couldn't run stuff. Like I only did back turn like 3 times because you threw me out of it and DP'd at me. Yeah, like you know the matchup. You know it's our mix-up. It's not just mine. So yeah, I've stopped doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I've learned the Leo tricks.
Society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the beasts.
I took some time to reflect on myself.
Or hell.
I'm definitely gonna watch these games back though, see what I could have did better.
Good stuff. Make sure to take a note there, viewers and chat members. You might learn something with the matchup.
Yeah. The games were all super close, so you know, take notes on like things that I did in the matchup to like stop the mix or put myself in positions where I wasn't getting mixed, you know? Because what a lot of people don't understand about Guilty Gear, that's a big part of the neutral. Like if you lose neutral, you deserve to get mixed, right? Nice counter hit. Alright. Starts off with the meaty low. Meaty heavy projectile, but nice throw after the mix-up. C4 tried to go for something. Pon's gonna OTG into a mix-up. Doesn't get a cancel though. Alright, C4 is out, but he gets hit with the jump dust. Nice bomb bag. Uses the parry stance of Leo, cancels the overhead to make it plus. Ponteronten tries to press. Oh my god! Pon, what'd you wake up with, bro?
Super.
Oh, there you go. Alright, once again, parry stance. Seems like he's got the tech on dealing with the bomb bag situation. He's gonna parry it and punish Ponteronten every time he tries to go for it. He gets huge damage as a reward for breaking that wall. Nice. Big counter hit, bomb setup, hammer. Nice 6P, but he pays for it with a big portion of his life and Ponteronten a little bit too late. Trying to reflect that projectile. Wanna go for a hero burst here. Alright, teleport, PRC. Into grab. I like how he triggered the mini false. The Ponte trick. Alright, so that's gonna be 1-0 for C4. Very close game though.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, triggers mini pot. Looking for something to parry. C4 right now decided to play some extended neutral. Nice. C4 positions himself away from the corner. There's another mini false out. Is going to inhibit the movement of his opponent. And right now, these mini falls are actually doing work for Ponteronten right now. Another mini falls. He's actually going to have to hold that, and Ponteronten going to punish that parry stance again. So far, it has not worked out for C4 this game. Gets a fat counter hit though. Walks him down into the corner. RC. Okay, I like that. Yo, DP almighty. Yo, this guy's a Leo player.
This ain't good.
Nope, he's just gonna finish it with the swag combo.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Nice 5K anti-air. Gonna send him on the screen. Seems like C4's got some false-specific tech out here. He's like hard countering like a lot of stuff right now. It's very interesting. Ooh, okay, Pont. Pont shows up with some Leo-specific matchup knowledge right now. Take notes, guys. Hits the bomb late. Oh, that was excellent. Gets the Gets the horde of mini falls into the throw strike mix-up. Into the afro. Meaty. Oh my god, I like that jump. K. Oh my god. Good blocks. Another one. Afro is in his future. Alright, C4, excellent defense. Finds his way out of the corner, goes for an optimal mid-screen confirm. Into a mix-up. Pawn is just going to burst that. He's not even trying to hold that. A nice jab, nice smash. Burst still on the table for C4 right now. Ponteronten with meter, but the side switch, so no wake-up super for you, buddy.
No one of those.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Nice jump in from Ponteronten. Super jump in. Gets the meteors into the guard break. Makes going my way safe. Or I think it's called Mixed Mix now. I'm surprised no air grab there. Yo, nice DP off of 2B. Just doing young man first. Nice 6B. Oh, but the punish. The combo actually did not connect properly. Keeps the combo first safe. A little bit of lag in spectating. Back counter hit. Nice throw. Throws him out of the corner though. But it's all good. He's going to get the damage into meteor setup. And that's going to be another large chunk of damage. Nice DP. A little bit too close for that item toss. YRC. Oh, man. That YRC was great, too. Leo's buttons just have, you know, better hit level, it seems. Alright, Ponteronten now wise to parry. Alright, Pon jumping out of danger. These guys respecting neutral on each other. Big counter hit right now on Pon into the meaty proximity grab. That's going to cue Afro State. Gets the Oakley mix up. He's going to have to hold this damage. Nice counter. Alright, right now C4 going on the offensive. Pon trying to reverse the momentum with that burst. Gets the knockdown into another proximity grab. Oh, nice combo. Let's go. Oh, that's unfortunate. Gets hit by his own weight, but big counter hit right there. This couple's going to do a lot of damage.
Absolutely.
Alright, there we go. But Pon's still in this. Wake up super, but no meter to RC. This is going to be a lot of damage. No OT change is going to go for the mix. Still very winnable spot to C4 on that positive bonus right now. Oh my god! And he based the burst! No!
GG's.
I was unlucky. I should have got smoked for that.
Oh my god. That was close. Very, very nice. GG's.
GG's.
All right, well there you go, guys. That's our podcast. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about or whatever, let us know now or forever hold your peace. Make sure you guys give a big round of applause for C4. You can tell them where to find you, socials and things like that.
Yeah, everything's IamC4IQ, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I just talk a lot of shit. You'll see me in JusteMeta's chat anyway. Like, a good thing I should be starting to say. Don't take it personally if I say you said something stupid. I say stuff that's stupid. Please call me out if I say anything stupid, and then we can all improve and not be stupid. That's all I care about. Like, I don't mean anything personal to anyone. If I say you're wrong, I'm also wrong some points, and I can only learn if people point it out. So yeah, like, I'm a little bit of a dickhead sometimes, but yeah, I'm just here to improve, and hopefully Evernox improves.
Exactly. All right, well there you go. Make sure you guys hit us up, JusteMeta TV on Twitch, Ponteronten on Twitter and Twitch as well. Make sure you guys, if you guys want to play, sign up for the Strive Major. I think there's like over, last time I checked it was like I think it was over 70, but now it could be more. Somebody said the tournament had too many people in it the other day. Hold on, let me see how many people we got for the first Strive Major on PC. And I actually removed a bunch of people. I removed a bunch of people who've been no-showing a lot. So this is like even more people. Yeah, we got like exactly 70 people. So
damn.
There you go. All right, guys, that's our podcast. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go to bed. C4, thank you all of you. yeah, that's it. Peace.
Peace out.
Have a good one.